Okay, so you're going to need to choose on this journey of sleep and intake, between sleep and intake. And so you can choose more of one or more of the other. So basically, this line is the number of sleep. This line is the number of intake. Okay. So when you look at it, just think of it like it's the number, right? Number of how much sleep, right? How much sleep? And let's go how much sleep? All right, and then we're gonna go here. Number how much intake? Okay, so the more you get closer to sleep, the further you are away from intake. Okay, and the closer you are to sleep. Now, the closer you are to intake, the further you are away from sleep. Okay, so if you were to compare what these lines are worth, you know, you can conjure up some concepts of supply, for example, and demand to say how much sleep. But for here, the point is something like, well, it's not exactly that for what we're doing. What we're doing is saying you can choose between sleep, you can choose between intake, and understand this very basic concept. You're choosing between these two things. Okay, so the next step is to realize that you're not choosing your whole day for sleep and for eating, right? So your whole day is not food and sleep. Okay, but that's not my point. My point here is how you sleep is going to affect how you eat, and how you eat will affect how you sleep. Okay, and so you can choose the relationship between your food and your sleep a bit better this way. Um, um, how much is an important question. Another one could be quality. Quality, okay? Because you can do an equivalency of how much. There's how much, but then there's like, what's the equivalent of how much? The equivalent of how much is how much quality, okay? How much? Quality, time, um, both factors in there, for example. Okay, so you only need one for now, but for example, you should look at it from different perspectives. So how I eat will affect how much I sleep. Okay, waking up at night could be called insulin resistance. It could affect the time of sleep. It could also affect the quality because it affects REM, but REM and time is not necessarily the same thing. Okay, you can correlate time and REM, but you could also separate the amount of sleep you get in a day from your success in REM. Okay, so I hope that's useful and take care.